Breaking, Shiloh Hendrix, woman seen in viral video using slur at park, charged, faces jail and fines. We have all this and more on today's episode of Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. What's going on? My name is Mike Mendoza, filling in for Elijah Schaefer today. Always happy to be back with you guys and go over the news with you guys. But we have an interesting story today. This was pretty viral a few months ago now, and it seems like it's just now starting to get through the court system, and you know all that stuff is happening behind the scenes. But I want to start with this first article. Breaking, Shiloh Hendrix, woman seen in viral video using slur at park, charged, faces jail and fines. An article written by Christina Lila. Shiloh Hendrix, the woman seen in a viral video using a racial slur at a kid at a park in Rochester, Minnesota, in April will be charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct. Hendrix is facing up to 90 days in jail and or $1,000 in fines. Earlier this year, Shiloh Hendrix, a Rochester, Minnesota mother, raised over $750,000 through a Give, Send, Go fundraiser to protect her family after a vicious online witch hunt. The now deleted viral video shows Hendrix being confronted by a man who accused her of using the N-word in reference to a 5-year-old child who she says stole a diaper bag from her 18-month-old son. As TGP previously reported, the man recording the video, who is now accused by Hendrix of stalking and doxing her, demands to know why she used the N-word in her confrontation. New woman calls a kid the N-word with the hard R and accuses him of taking her son's stuff. Man, did you call the child the N-word? By the way, this is the exchange from Shiloh and then the other man. Woman, yeah. What if he acts like one? He took my son's stuff. Man, so you think that gives you the right to use each other the N-word? That's kind of just like a transcript from the actual video itself. The video ignited instant backlash, with critics branding Hendrix a racist and launching a coordinated campaign to ruin her life. According to Hendrix, the video of the confrontation, posted by a man with a reported history with law enforcement, led to her home address, phone number, and even her social security number being leaked online, putting her family in danger. KTTC reported, the Rochester City Attorney's Office moves to leverage 3 counts of disorderly conduct against Shiloh Hendrix, a woman who used racial slurs against a Somali child with a disability in a since viral video in April. The charges would amount to a maximum of 90 days in jail and or a $1,000 fine. The legal complaint is still subject to review and approval by a district court judge, but it concludes that Shiloh wrongfully and unlawfully engaged in offensive, obscene, abusive, boisterous, or noisy conduct, or in offensive, obscene, or abusive language that would reasonably tend to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. This matter involved a large amount of evidence and required careful consideration of potential charging options across multiple offices. Additionally, under Minnesota law, prosecutors are required to involve and consider the perspective of the crime victim. Given the sensitive and complicated nature of this case, along with the high level of public attention, completing the necessary reviews and conversations with the victim's family took longer than usual. The city attorney's office remains focused on the legal process and is committed to ensuring a fair process. We will not speculate on the length of the court process or the potential outcome. So I just want to talk about this a little bit now. I don't know how much she ended up raising. Actually, let me just see if I can search it up real quick. Because I think she made well over 300 or 400. No, yes. So she raised $750,000. She raised $750,000. So, if you have to spend, even worst case scenario, this is like a Mr. Beast challenge. It's like, call a kid the N-word for $750,000, but you have to spend 3 months in jail. She won't have to work for it at least 5 years. I don't know if she has multiple kids. Maybe she needs more money, but probably living in Rochester, Minnesota isn't super expensive. But also too, it's interesting that disorderly conduct. I've never actually read disorderly conduct, or like the letter of the law, I should say, for disorderly conduct. But I always figured that disorderly conduct meant that you were like, I don't know, like peeing on the wall, like in an alley or something, or like out in the open, or like, I don't know. Everything that they were charging her with there, or the definition of it, I should say, it seems like it's like kind of free speech. So it's like if you hurt someone's feelings, which is completely subjective, then you get charged with a crime and then go to jail for it. It kind of like doesn't make any sense to me. And it just seems like so open to interpretation. Like, other things, murder, manslaughter, grand theft auto, whatever, all those things are clear cut. It causes harm to someone. I mean, yeah, this does too, but it's just like so relative. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a weird situation. But and I will say too that I don't think that the guy had organized a doxing campaign against her. I could be wrong on this, and I forgot all the details of this now. But it is just because, really, I mean, black people are a lot more, harkening back to the last video that we talked about. They are a lot more tribal. So once they hear another one of their people get wronged, or they just have the perception of them being wronged, then they will all band together and then help each other out. And I think that was what led to this. Actually, Elijah's been through this too, where I actually don't even know how it started, but he had pretty much every black person on Twitter after him at one point, and they were doing the same thing to him. He had to put his phone, he had to turn his phone off because he was getting so many calls and so many texts, he couldn't even use his phone. So, and I mean, does that ever happen the other way around? Probably not. But I think, as I said before, I mean, she raised $750,000. I don't think that she's too distraught about it. I think she's probably living good right now, and God bless her. I don't think she did the right thing necessarily, but I also don't think that she deserves to go to jail for a year or whatever. More than anything, this was a political statement, kind of. The way that white people came together and then supported their own. It kind of was just a temperature check on the culture. It's not about whether she was in the right or she was in the wrong. I have my opinion on that, and I'm sure that you do too. But it was more so a temperature check of how race relations are in this country, and then that was what we saw transpire here. But anyway, on to the next story. Horror. Heavily pregnant 17-year-old gunned down in road rage incident in Louisiana. Premature baby delivered before teen taken off of life support. It's a very sad story by Christina Lila. A 17-year-old girl in her third trimester of pregnancy was gunned down in a road rage incident in Tangipahoa Parish, Louisiana, over the weekend. According to the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office or Department, Caitlin Strait was a passenger in a vehicle with two others when another driver began tailgating them. The other driver, 54-year-old Barry West, fired a shot and struck Caitlin Strait in the head. Caitlin Strait delivered her baby at 27 weeks before she was taken off of life support. The baby is reportedly healthy and in the NICU. West was booked and charged with 4 counts of attempted second-degree murder and 1 count of illegal use of a weapon and obstruction of justice. His charges will be upgraded since the victim was taken off life support, the sheriff's office said. We are raising funds in memory of Caitlin Strait, age 17, who tragically lost her life in a road rage incident yesterday morning in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, while 27 weeks pregnant. Her baby survived, and we are now seeking help to cover funeral expenses for Caitlin, medical bills, and the essential baby items needed by her grandmother, who will now be caring for the baby. Any support you can offer is deeply appreciated, the family said on the GoFundMe page. WBRZ reported. Obviously a very sad situation. It's kind of crazy because, I don't even beep at people on the road, honestly, because it's just I mean, I've had a few times in the last 6 months or so where people swerve into my lane or whatever. I'm a pretty chill person. So, I mean, and I just don't see the need of screaming and shaking your fist at someone and leaning on the horn at them. I just don't see the point. I mean, yeah, because I mean, I've been in some situations where someone obviously isn't paying attention, whatever, and they get into your lane. But also part of it too is because you just never know the type of day that person is having, their desire or their I'm blanking on the word right now, but their propensity to commit violence. If it's a gang member, if they're armed or whatever. I mean, because these people sometimes just have nothing to lose. But I mean, it's never worth getting in any kind of altercation, physical altercation, because I mean, if you drive another 30 seconds or a minute down the road, you'll probably forget that even happened. And I mean, it just makes it even more sad that now this baby isn't going to have a mother, and in a dramatic fashion too, just because of what? Because she cut her off, or someone else in the car cut her off. It just doesn't make any sense. So very sad. Obviously, prayers up to her, and I think the gifts and go is linked is linked in the article as well if you want to check it out on gatewaybundit.com. But besides that, if you're feeling tired, sluggish, or foggy, it could be poor blood flow. And Blood Flow 7 by Juvenon is scientifically designed to support healthy circulation, so you feel energized, clear-headed, and vibrant again. Packed with natural ingredients like nitrosogene, S7, and trans-resveratrol, Blood Flow 7 works by boosting nitric oxide levels, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, helping your blood flow freely to every corner of your body. By the way, if you ever take anything that supports NO2, usually people take that to go to the gym, but it's a difference of night and day. It will definitely energize you. And that means more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, muscles, and even places that need a little extra help as you age, which I think I know what they're talking about there. With just one dose a day, you can reclaim your stamina, support heart health, and improve overall vitality, all without caffeine or stimulants, which is great. You don't want to be too geeked up all day. Try Blood Flow 7 today and feel the difference where it matters most, inside your veins. Visit bloodflow7.com/gateway. Again, that's bloodflow7.com/gateway. Check it out today. It's also in the description below. You can check it out there. Anyway, on to the next story. Crooked Biden-appointed Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook issues a defiant statement as she refuses to step down following President Trump's move to fire her. This story is by Cullen Linebarger. Oh, wait. So this is the one who's acting ignorant and doesn't want to step down? Wow, that's crazy. Biden-appointed Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook has made it clear she will not go down without a fight despite the President of the United States' orders to leave. As the Gateway Pundit reported, President Trump on Monday evening fired Cook amid mortgage fraud allegations that are being investigated by Special Prosecutor Ed Martin. Hold on. Wait. She's committing mortgage fraud. That's crazy. All right, anyway, back to the story. Pursuant to my authority under Article 2 of the Constitution of the United States and the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 as amended, you are hereby removed from your position on the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve effective immediately, President Trump wrote in a letter to Lisa Cook. I have determined that there is sufficient cause to remove you from your position, Trump added as he cited housing regulator Bill Pulte's criminal referral on Lisa Cook for mortgage fraud, specifically occupancy fraud. Following Trump's announcement, Cook released a defiant statement to reporters that made clear she believed she was entitled to the seat. Hold on. Wait, hold on. This lady is entitled. I don't believe you. I have to read more on this. Following Trump's announcement, this is the article I just read, sorry. President Trump purported to fire me for a cause when no cause exists under the law, and he has no authority to do so, Cook said in the statement. I will not resign, she added. I will continue to carry out my duties to help the American economy as I have been doing since 2022, but no, I will not change the batteries of my smoke alarm. Here's the background on Cook's alleged mortgage fraud misdeeds from TGP's previous reporting. According to Pulte's criminal referral, Cook committed mortgage fraud by lying on her mortgage application and falsifying bank statements when she designated her out-of-state Atlanta condo as her primary residence just 2 weeks after taking a loan on her Michigan home, which she also claimed as her primary residence. By claiming primary residence on her out-of-state condo, Lisa Cook received more favorable loan terms and took a lower and had a lower interest rate. On June 18th, 2021, Cook acquired a loan on a property in Ann Arbor, Michigan. On the mortgage agreement, Cook represented to use the property as borrower's principal residence within 60 days after the execution of her agreement, Pulte said. On July 2nd, 2021, just 2 weeks later, Cook also purchased a condo in Atlanta and entered a 30-year mortgage agreement and affirmed the property would serve as her primary residence within 60 days of the execution of the mortgage and would serve as her primary residence for a full year, Pulte's referral said. I feel like we see this more often than not, where these people get into positions of power, they get into the government, and then they think that they're above the line. This isn't even just specifically a woman or a gender or like a racial thing or whatever, but it's like people get into these positions and they feel entitled. They feel like they don't have to, because they think that they're the ones who are making the rules now. So obviously the rules wouldn't apply to them if they feel like they shouldn't apply to them. But it's nothing more egregious than like Nancy Pelosi or something, obviously using insider information to trade stocks. It's kind of like the same concept. It's just they're using their power to get ahead. Kind of can't blame them in some ways, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you got caught, give it up. Especially once the president's on you, like, hey, the president's calling you out, like, you're done, you're cooked, just step aside. So anyway, with all that said, I want to let you guys know, go to thegatewaypundit.com/join and get this amazing weighty, heavy mug. Has a embossed logo on both sides, the word mark on the other side. I don't know how many ounces this is. I would guess this is about 6 ounces or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But if you work from home or if you just keep your mug at your desk, this would be a really good one to have around. Or even if you just want it as like a pencil holder or something, I think it'd be really good for that too. But I would use it for a mug too, because also the inside's just it's very well finished. I'll say that. So go to gatewaybundit.com/join. But this isn't even. I mean, I know I'm selling you the mug right now. But I mean, the mug is kind of an afterthought. What you're really doing is you're supporting the journalists at Gateway Pundit, Christina Lila, Cullen Linebarger, Jim Hoft, of course, and all the other great people who work behind the scenes at Gateway Pundit. So it's well worth it, I think, personally, in my own opinion. But other than that, we're done here for today. So thank you guys for joining us. And we'll be back tomorrow with more stories. Until then, God bless America.